Well, I get to play Boggs, who is born and raised from District 13, so he's lived underground, and he is commissioned with protecting Katniss while they film propaganda footage, which is really important to this rebellion. So he's important in that he has to protect the person who is here to galvanize the forces in the rebels, which is obviously Katniss. I think he's a quiet, strong force within this film, and he's a grounding force, I think, for Katniss. It's interesting because I don't think he's particularly excited about working with her at first because it feels like a babysitting assignment, and he's been raised for this revolution, for this moment in time. So at first, I think he's a little put off by the type of time that they have to spend together and the propaganda side of the war, because he's a soldier, and so war is a physical thing in essence, and I think would prefer to be out there fighting with and commanding the troops. But that changes, you know. I think he really grows to understand what her purpose is, and so was honored in essence to work with her. You know, there's so many like franchises and blockbusters, things that are kind of happening in the entertainment world today. So, and a lot of them are just big, you know. And then on the other side, as an actor, you see films that are made with $10 and they're really well written, but
Right.
you know, you don't get paid to be a part of it hardly, you know. And so to be able to be in a project that mixes the two together, that is large, it's a blockbuster franchise, and it's really good, is something that you really look for and yearn for as an actor. Francis was wonderful. He always pulled me to the side, and he speaks to you like you're the most important person in the room, and that's really important and critical in pulling out the best performance out of every actor. Like everybody matters to him, and I think that's where his genius lies, and being able to connect to people and be able to distill out of all that's going on, be able to pull out what's most important in the scene and bring that to life. I think the story really deepens moving forward, because you get out of the Hunger Games, which is, you know, the event in itself that people are prepared and to come and see. But now you get into this rebellion, like beginning and kind of it's percolating, but it's just deeper and darker and more developed and vast in a different way. But at the same time, then you get into District 13, which feels really claustrophobic, and you get introduced to another world. So it's really unique from the other two films, and I think part two is going to be equally amazing. I think that we can't deny that there's subject matter that reflects what's going on in the world. Like, it's just true. So that always speaks to people in a certain way. Like, but then there's also just Katniss, this young girl who I think in a certain way empowers all these young people around the world. They see a little bit of themselves in her. And she is a galvanizing force, you know, because she inspires so many people through her selflessness and her courage. And she makes, I've always heard the more personal, the more universal. Her story is a very personal story. She's doing that first for her sister, and then, you know, she's trying to save PETA essentially. And so, but it becomes this thing that sparks this energy and this movement universally. So, but for her, it's a really intimate journey, and I think so people connect to that.